My name is Melea. I'm a grateful believer in Jesus Christ, and I'm celebrating recovery from addiction, from past abuse, and fear and anxiety, and this is my story. I grew up in a broken home. My mom and dad was divorced before I was born. My dad was a really bad alcoholic, and my mom was in and out of bad relationships. I was about 12 years old. I started drinking and smoking marijuana. When I was about 18 years old, I started doing pills, and then about 20 years old is whenever I first tried meth. I had Braden at 19 years old. I'd been doing pills, but I wasn't really bad into pills. Me and his dad split up. I had Braden. I was a single mom. It was scary. It was hard. I got my own place, and I think the devil saw an opportunity, and I ended up trying meth for the first time at 19 years old. No, 20 years old. It took over my life. Right before I got clean, I was dating this guy, and we was in and out of drug use together, and I wanted to save him, but I didn't want to save myself. And so I ended up, one night, I went out looking for him, and me and Braden was asleep in the back of the car, and I found him at the drug house. I asked him, I said, do you want the drugs or do you want a family? Do you want me and Braden? And he chose the drugs, and we got into it, and I ended up breaking my hand from punching the steering wheel because I was so mad at the devil for him stealing my life, the guy I was with's life, because I seen how it had a control over him and me. And so then I leave, and I'm going to my friend's house to have him take me to the hospital because I was numb. I couldn't really tell if I broke my hand. On the way there, I came to forks in the road, and I was either going to go left and back to the drug house to get rid of the drugs I had to try to get my money back, or I was going to go right to my friend's house to have him take me to the hospital. I knew that if I made that left turn, that I probably wouldn't be giving those drugs back, that I would probably end up going and getting high. And I knew that I needed to make that right turn. And as soon as I made that right turn, it was like this wave of feeling come over me. And by the time we got there, I was pouring sweat, and I go to knock on the door, and he wasn't there. Well, his dad come out the back door and was like, "Who's that knocking?" I was like, "It's me, Pops." And as I was going around the house saying that, I passed out in midair. And I remember opening my eyes up and hearing God tell me, "Melea, get up, get up." And I know that night that God delivered me, because I no longer had that feeling in my gut that I wanted to go use. Every time I'd say I was going to quit, I always had this gut feeling that no, I'm going to go back to it. But that night, God took that from me. I didn't know who I was anymore after drugs, because that's all I'd known for so long. I didn't even know myself. I didn't know coping skills of how to cope with life. So I remember the first time I came to celebrate recovery, and it was really scary at first, because I didn't know anybody. But I needed support. I needed sober friends, and I remember sitting there during the large group, and I was like, this is where I'm meant to be. I just felt this peace, that scared feeling whenever I first came in the doors and stuff disappeared as I went through the large group, because I realized that God brought me there for a reason. So with CR, we truly are a forever family. We love each other through the good and the bad. When my dad was dying, I had everybody at CR. The night I found out my dad wasn't going to make it, it was on a Thursday night, I knew exactly where I needed to be. And that was at CR, because that's where I felt the love and the support I needed. It's gave me truly a loving, supporting family that I feel that I lacked over the years. Well, I came to CR and they told me about coming to church on Sunday, and that, it was an awesome church, and I was like, and I had been praying, I'd actually been fasting for God to put me in a church that I could grow and that would be there for me and not look at who I once was, but look at me who I am now. And so the first time I came, I knew that's where God had sent me. I knew God had brought me to South Cleveland for a reason, and I just got plugged into, just all kinds of different outlets in the church, doing the Wednesday night Bible studies, come to church Sunday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then when we started the step study, I was on Monday, that's where God was able to work on me, over the past almost 2 years. To know that our own pastor struggled with this made me feel even more comfortable. God has just filled me with the Holy Spirit, so much in that church, and I look forward to coming to church. I look forward to praising God and letting the Holy Spirit just move through our church, and it's just truly blessed me. And I always talk about South Cleveland and trying to get people to come, and because I just know that they won't regret it, because you will find a family there as well. So on June the 13th, I'll be 2 years clean and sober.